Hi, it's Laura with Tarot Squared. First of all, I want to thank everybody who supported the Kickstarter to bring the Tarot of Little Secrets to life. Thank you so much for everybody for doing that. It is now in its second printing. I have decided to actually do some readings online. I usually don't. Well, I never do, but now I'm starting. So in these times, new ideas, right? So first of all, I want to talk about what's going on in the world and with the coronavirus. A really dear friend of mine was wondering what the energy over America would be for the next 6 months. Um, Small businesses are really going to be hurting. Everybody is afraid. Um, Many of us have someone that we love that has died from this, and we are entering new times. We're entering a new territory. There are times in our lives where an event defines the end of one part of the life and the beginning of another. And this is clearly one that is going to resonate for everybody around the world. So I did a 6-card pull for the next 6 months on the energy over our country at this time for us. And I'm not, I'd like to say everything is nice and warm and fuzzy, but that's not how the cards came out. At least that's not what they wanted to tell me. And I pulled one card for each month. So for April, I pulled the King of Cups reversed. Okay, his cup is running out. It's going empty. The water behind him is rough. I think April is going to be, and this is no surprise, I'm sure, to anybody, April's going to be bad. It's going to be very difficult. Cups are emotions and relationships, our feelings. The king is the most powerful of that suit, and it's in the reverse position. So it does talk about grief. It talks about a lot of upsetting feelings, ends of relationships. And I think that's what April is going to look like. I wish I could tell you something happy, but it's probably not a surprise. May, 8 of Rods. So I think May is not going to be as desperate as April. There are going to be many ideas, many things floating out, lots of ideas launched on how to navigate this part of what's happening in our world. I think we're going to hear a lot of different voices. Nothing is going to be settled, though. I think that we're still going, I would say that we'll probably still mostly be in quarantine through May, but there's going to be a lot of energy manifesting with where to go with this, but no clear solutions. Then, yay, June comes, and it's the Lovers. The Lovers is, that excitement and that thrill and that ooh-ha-ha feeling that you get when you meet that person and everything is exciting and new and fresh. That's what this card is about. So I believe that what's going to happen in June is we're going to see something new come into our arsenal about how to deal with this new, well, it's a plague, how to deal with this. And I am thinking what's coming to me is, I know that they are going to be trying some experimental things to treat it. We believe that the vaccine is months out. It'd be great if it actually came in June, yay. But I think that they're going to find ways to harness it, treat it, and also I think that there's going to be a new awareness as a result of this virus, new ideas. We're going to hear new voices. Talking not only about the virus and how it's affected people, but also the larger conversation about our planet. And I think that some of the status quo and the way things have always been done are going to be challenged in a way that are healthy and bring a new light to the situation. July, the high priestess. If there is a collective consciousness, awareness on a higher level, I believe that that's going to be revealed in the month of July. Clearly, we don't live in a country that can sustain itself in this kind of an emergency. Healthcare, insurance, jobs, the inequity in income. What America has created with their form of capitalism, I think we're going to see. We saw what happened in the Soviet Union when communism and all the communist ideas were taken to an extreme, run by an oligarchy. I think we're seeing the same thing in America today, and I believe that there's going to be a higher understanding of the damage that has created in the month of July. I think those voices are going to not only emerge, but come together, and I'm pretty excited about that. I would say look for that, become a part of that, so you're more than just a voice and an idea, that you're actually participating in the action. Because then comes August. August, I pulled the Four of Swords reversed. And, when I think of the Four of Swords in the upright position, it's a time to be centered, to increase your awareness, to not run around and do things and implement things, but to pull your resources in and gather that energy. And in the reverse position, it's just the opposite of that. It's a lot of running around and ideas that are flying everywhere. And I think that this card is really indicative of the obfuscation that's going to come up as we get closer to the election. A lot of conflicting data, a lot of propaganda. I think that we will see this virus and how it's handled really politicized, and based on what form of politics you're listening to, you're going to hear very, very different stories, which is not any different than what we have now. But I think we're going to see that really resurge in August, kind of on steroids. September, I pulled the Eight of Pentacles reversed. And I think that just follows really well after the Four of Swords reversed, because those ideas in all the different directions and all the different conversations that don't connect well are going to be manifesting themselves in action. So it's going to be those ideas and those thoughts and the forces that be trying to force or implement their way of looking at it. But it's a lot of spinning wheels. I don't think we're going to get anywhere. I think because this is an election year, we're not going to see a lot of forward movement, which is disappointing because, with the Lovers and the High Priestess, wherever they went, the awareness, the higher awareness is there. So I think this is a time for those of us that do tap into that higher self, that higher consciousness, that consciousness that is connects us all together with our planet and with the other creatures that we share our planet with. Those 2 months are a time where we really need to come together and have a united voice, and have a united voice that is has a stronger presence for the long haul. Ideas that maybe can grow some legs with them to combat a lot of the confusion and misinformation that is out there. I'm just going to just come right out and say it. Those of us, I think, that are on a different level and a higher level and feel connected with the entire planet and life on the planet, we know that politics and economy that has been sustained on an unequal um, footing with big companies running this oligarchy, the greater public, the greater population is going to suffer. Our animal friends are going to suffer. Our planet is going to suffer. Living in a life that is dependent on fossil fuels is not sustainable. So these are the ideas that I think, to open ourselves up to and to have conversations about, because in August and September, when things start becoming confusing again, we're going to need to hang on to that to get us through. So that is a quick, if you will, 6-month forecast, just very, very short about the overall energy of those months. And I thank you for listening. If you have questions or would like a reading, you can contact me through the YouTube channel. If you're interested, if you want one of the second editions of the Tarot Little Secrets, they are still some available on Etsy. Thank you for joining me, and be well and be safe.